tuning in to D4 Sports, Day Drinking with Don and Dustin. I'm Don.
And I'm Dustin, and we're bringing you sports talk from around the world and drinking tips to make every game a winner.
We appreciate you checking out our podcast. So now,
live from Lubbock, Texas,
and London, England,
this is D4.
Welcome, everyone, to D4 Sports, episode 94 of Day Drinking with Don and Dustin, here on this last day of May in 2026. Dustin, looking exceptionally handsome today. How are you?
I'm good. It's early. Kind of early. It's not that bad, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm awake, I'll say that.
There you go. There you go. Hard to do the show if you're not. So good to have you.
That's true. And according to my job, I'm standing upright as opposed to some of the people that I work with.
Well, fair enough.
But how are you today?
I'm okay. I've been a bit sick after traveling back to the United States for a week and spending 12 hours in a car with my daughter and my grandchildren, who my daughter was sick, and then she nicely gave it to me. I am on the upswing, but still kind of rough. I haven't been sick really at all since I moved over here to London. So, of course, I go back to the States and I get sick. So there you go. That's what it is. But
sounds about right.
Yeah, doing all right. We're, I was just saying beforehand, just kind of coming off the tails of a heat wave. Those on video can see my air conditioning unit working hard in the background.
I was going to comment on that because Ansley, my oldest, made a comment last night about the European air conditioning system.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, she was here during the worst of the heat wave. So
yes,
I'm sure it was quite uncomfortable. Yes.
So you guys came over to the States, and the day, I want to say basically the day you left was the day she flew into London. Pretty close. Yeah. And she was in London for 4 days, maybe 5, I think 4.
Okay.
And then they went to Paris. So she spent about 5 days in Paris. And there was a picture she was showing me. She was standing over a vent. And I was like, trying to cool off, huh? She goes, yes, because I love the air conditioning system over there in Europe. It's like, it's about right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, here anyway, a lot of public places do have air conditioning, but they just don't cool it to the level that they do in the States. And so, yeah, it's, but most homes don't. And truthfully, again, don't need it. But on these few days when it gets hot, it gets unpleasantly warm, and you basically just have to kind of sit still in front of your fan. Or, there are people who have the window units, or, there are people who have air conditioning. They make it and people have it, but we do not. So we are like most, just toughing it out. However, again, given over here that most people line dry their clothes, and, we have taken to doing some of that, they dry in a hurry. You hang them up, you hang your clothes up even inside, and they're dry in less than an hour with as warm as it is and as dry as the air is. So, it does work. But so anything exciting been going on in the world of Lubbock, or I guess I don't know. I mean, in the world of Lubbock.
I mean, it's Lubbock. I wouldn't say anything's uber exciting around here. So, it's just hard to say. I'll just leave
Fair
it
enough.
there.
Fair enough. Yep. I did get to play in a golf tournament a couple weeks ago at a really nice golf course, a course called Moore Park up here. We happened to win the tournament because that's just what we do. Actually played pretty. I played all right. I had my first round of the year, so a little dicey, but I played okay. They do a lot of the Stableford scoring system over here, which I'm not all that familiar with. But like essentially, if you get a par on each hole, or the equivalent of a par, because it's played to handicap, you would end up with 36. So you get 2 points on a hole for a par. And I ended up shooting 36, so I shot pretty much on the number of my handicap. Of course, I played it in 18, which is pretty high for me, but it's about where I probably am now. I did make a birdie, so that was fun. An actual birdie. Hit some good shots. Not too many not too many bad. I only lost like one golf ball. That's not bad for the first round of the year. So
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I had comment on my golfing prowess.
No, well, we've chronicled that a little bit, but I did learn another British phrase over here because that day they said to me, "Oh, two people said, oh, you seem to have caught the sun," which is apparently what they say if like you like look red or look like you might be sunburned or whatever. I wasn't sunburned. I was just because I'd been in Spain in Costa del Sol on the beach for the weekend, so I was actually quite robustly tanned, as you can see. But they said I'd caught the sun, so that's kind of a fun little phrase.
It wasn't from the partaking that you were red.
No, and although we did have well, they don't call them carts, they call them buggies, of course. So we did actually have buggies for the tournament, which is the first time I've ridden in a cart when I played golf over here. But we did have that for the tournament, so that was kind of nice. Although we didn't, it's as much as British people drink, they don't tend to drink on the golf course. They drink after. So they'll play the round, and they don't drink all that. At least the guys I've played with don't drink much on the course. But then we go and make sure we take care of business
after. They want to play well.
Well, right. Yeah. In America, you just load up the course.
People play better the more they drink.
Well, I'm not sure that's true.
But then there's like a cliff. It's not like a gradual.
Oh, there's a cliff. Yeah.
There's not an uphill and then a gradual downhill. It's like a uphill and then just a straight down.
Yeah, it's precipitous. Yeah, no question about it. So also in the United States, and this isn't quite directly alcohol related, but it is cigar related, which is, in the same world. But John Woodard, a loyal listener, and I went to a cigar lounge in St. Louis. And have you ever done the cigar lounge thing?
Yes. We did it
Why
in
do you
Las
smile?
Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I think I sent you pictures of when in Las Vegas we did that. We were at the.
Okay, I don't remember. Maybe yeah. All right, you were looking at me like I did it with you, and I just want to make sure
I did it twice in Vegas, and I thought, yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
Well, we walk into this cigar lounge, and I have never ever walked into such a cloud of smoke in my life. It was absolutely extraordinary how we both walked in. We're like, oh, like it was just thick. Hanging in and there's guys just sitting in there, and I was like, I don't know how they could do it. I mean, and this woman walked up, and she's like, I totally expected her to, I don't know if you've ever seen enough Seinfeld to see like Kramer when he has the episode where he starts smoking cigars and his skin gets all leathery and stuff. I fully expected her to look like that, but she didn't, and she was like, hey, and she wasn't even talking like this, like you kind of would think she would be after sitting in a room like that. But yeah, we took cigars and we went and thankfully got a table outside because it was something in there.
I've been to a couple of cigar shops here in Lubbock, and they do have lounges in there.
Yeah,
it is heavy smoke, heavily saturated.
Yeah.
But the one in Las Vegas, it was kind of like a bar / cigar lounge.
Yeah.
They had the walk-in humidor. That you could go in, and you could go. I would say the main portion was outside, but they leave the doors open. They've got fans blowing. It was pretty awesome. It was probably one of my favorite places that I went to.
Yeah,
I mean, you just sit there, you have a cigar, you've got games going on the TV, and I'm a talkative person. I can talk to anybody, so everybody that's around us, you just start. Talking.
Sure.
So it was kind of weird though. The people to our left that we were talking to were from the Houston area, and the people on our right that we were talking to were from the Dallas area. And I'm like, of all the places that the people that are around me are all from Texas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this place was just in like a little strip mall, and it was not particularly nice inside. I mean, it wasn't awful, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. This wasn't the place that I was going to go hang out much. And we were both basically just like saying we're just have to take and like strip our clothes off and burn them when we got home if we'd have spent any more time in there because it was something else. But
yeah, the cigar shop here in Lubbock is right next to the CC's, if you remember where that is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. This was like had an Indian restaurant next door. And I think they had like their kitchens on the other side because they kept walking stuff back and forth on tray. I don't know.
It was Indian food smell, and cigar.
Yeah, you got your curry mixing with a cigar. That would have been something. Yeah. Anyway, so with that,
Gone off the rails.
well, I don't know.
That's our
maybe
MO.
near the rails, but so and well, what are you drinking today? Let's get from smoking to another vice.
Well, just because all we do nowadays is mornings, I've
Yeah.
got my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned from you,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, how to read would be the real thing. But I used to call this Major Dickinson
Okay.
from Pete's Coffee,
Yeah.
and you had to more than once read the label. Major Dickinson.
Dickinson.
Dickason. So that's what I've got.
Yes. Your cup, by the way you were holding it looked like it was the size of your head there for a minute. Well, yeah. But when you were holding it up close, I was like, it's the world's largest coffee cup there. Anyway.
And then I've got it's called a Day Trip Organic Soda Prebiotic Cream Soda.
Ooh. Oh,
and it says, escape the ordinary. You've just discovered the smarter way to soda. It's a downright delicious way to enjoy your day trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
And
I guess we'll see.
We do have a new listener.
Oh, okay.
And his name is Chris Morris. So
okay.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Chris. Welcome aboard.
Randomly started. Have you ever heard of Whatnot? I think I've told you about it, but I don't. You can go on there and they sell anything and
anything. Okay.
And so I've gone on there and done like the sports trading cards. I told you I've kind of gotten into that.
Yeah. Yep.
And so he does a show, and I've gone on the show a few times. And when you win, he sends you a koozie.
Oh.
So I am drinking a Morris Breaks, or out of a Morris Breaks koozie.
I don't know what Morris Breaks is.
Well, that's his show. So you go on to
and
there are shows throughout.
Got Chris Morris. Gotcha.
You sell, right? So you can sell singles, you can sell packs, you can bid on different things and random and whatever. So
now I'm following you. Oh, very nice.
Shout out to Morris Breaks and he gave us a shout out yesterday on the show.
All right, excellent.
Everybody watching. So thank you much.
Well, hopefully we'll pick up a few more listeners on that. Well, so how is the cream soda?
It does not taste like cream soda.
No?
It's a little more tart than it's not supposed to be tart.
No. Cream soda is not supposed to be tart.
It's not like a tart that you would like fruit and things like. But when you're drinking cream soda, you don't expect any.
Right.
And there was a little bit more than anticipated.
Tartness there, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I am, having been a little under the weather, not really feeling like drinking, even though it is 2:00 in the afternoon here. So I have here what's called a Lucky Saint, which is a 0% alcohol beer that my wife got when she had given up the sauce for Lent, and she actually liked it. And I'm gonna pour a little here to show my pouring skills. And I've had it, tasted it once or twice. A little bit of a head there.
I
was just gonna say, showing my pouring skills, and then I did that. But
the head is half the glass.
Anyway, and it's kind of it's actually a hazy IPA, and it says 0.5%, so I guess it's not fully zero. But this is one of the more popular alcohol-free beers in the UK.
Not bad.
It's not bad. It's kind of got that citrusy IPA taste, right? Like like a fruitier, hoppier IPA, but obviously, not exactly. But it's definitely drinkable. It's cold, which is nice because again, it is still pretty warm here. And like I said, I just I don't know. Maybe if I get bold at the later in the show, I'll pour something else. I do have something else that I brought back from Spain that I will share on the show, but it is quite potent, and I don't know how to drink it yet, and I am not in a place to do it today. So I will figure it out. Yet. But I will make sure we get to that. But So anyway, so I've got my Lucky Saint 0% and just some water, and that's all I'm rocking with this week. So anyway, I guess this is like the second time and out of 94 episodes that I have not actually had booze, but
I mean, it's 0.5, right? So
it's 0.5. So if I drink 35 of these, look out.
So I have to tell a story because we're talking about London, and it's not sports related, but it is probably one of the funniest conversations I've ever had with Ansley while she was in London.
Okay.
So she texted me and she said, just got back from the hotel after seeing Romeo and Juliet. It was the worst, best thing I've ever seen. And I said, worst, best? And she said, yes. And I said, well, you have to explain. She goes, it was so sad and awful, but it was the best thing at the same time. And then I said, did you know the story of Romeo and Juliet before going into this?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
And she goes, I knew it was forbidden love and Romeo, Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? And I said, so no.
Not really. Yeah.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
And she goes, so no. So, well, that makes sense. So she goes into this play not having any idea what's going to happen. And I could imagine as a teenage girl.
Right. Just being a little disappointed at the end. Yeah.
Not knowing this story.
Yeah. And, There's not nearly as many tragedies in the world today. Most shows tend to focus on the happy ending now versus and that one doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So when she told me it's so sad, instantly I just thought, oh, I assumed you had known the story because you really wanted to go see this play.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, there you go. So I had an opening shot in my notes. And again, I've been keeping notes for a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks since we did a show. And it just says Jerry the Dinosaur. But I have no recollection of what Jerry the Dinosaur actually was about. So I'll just drop that one in there for kicks.
Just go Google it, somebody.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember if it was a personal story or if it was something else. But at any rate, Jerry the Dinosaur. I'll just say that. But
curious how it would be a personal story to you.
Well, if maybe it was like one of like Drew's toys or something. I don't know because I spent a week with my grandson who is rocking the Millwall, and of course my granddaughter Alice as well. They both passionately wear their Millwall outfits, by the way.
Good for them.
But we had some good times. But yeah, I'll start with the Enhanced Olympics. Now, did you see anything about the Enhanced Olympics they just had?
No.
So this was an event that was basically not only were people like you could use anything you want, it was like encouraged and it was like shown, and these people were enormous, right? And it was supposed to be, oh, they're going to break every record and we're going to show what everything can do and blah 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 and all this stuff, and and these were all going to show unleash the full limits of human potential when we don't actually limit what we can do for training. And they even like showed like the big medical complex where people were getting doped up and all this stuff. And they did it, and there wasn't a single world record set. And in fact, most of the times in like the swimming in particular, that was one of the big events. One, like the main guy was supposed to be like the big guy. Not only did he not break a record, he got last place in the event. And I think there was even one guy, if I remember right, who was actually swimming and wasn't doping, and he like either won or got close second or something. So at any rate, they do this Enhanced Olympics thing. All these people are jacked up on every kind of steroid possible, and not much really at all. Not only no world records, but not even particularly impressive feats of any sort of thing. So I am curious to see if this will continue and if they'll try again, or if this will just be like, the gobbledygooker and fade off into the non-existence of sports footnotes.
Is this something that they're training for as well, or they just like dope them have a few weeks of training and then go out there?
No, I think these people, I confess I did not read at length about this, but I think these people were legitimately training, and this was a big event, that this was the showcase of what enhanced athletes can do. And but guess it goes to show that, because obviously the top athletes in the world are all competing in sports where it's all regulated and you can't do it. So the people who've chosen to do this are going to be, by and large, probably not the very best athletes.
Right.
So, I think it's a pretty strong testimony to the fact that while certainly performance-enhancing drugs help, and especially when the top athletes of all, in the world take them, they can become truly super athletes. But regular old average people, or maybe, mid-tier athletes who dope, doesn't look like you can just become the best in the world.
Right.
Which I guess is good. But all right. We gave it a shot at least once. We'll see if it comes back. So there you go. What do you got for me?
Speaking of the best in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this stat, which is kind of what I've been drawn to recently in going with basketball and Wemby. They just won last night, so they're going to the NBA Finals with such a young team. Oh my goodness! They got Wemby, Stephon Castle, Vassell, Dylan Harper. Man, they're fun to watch. But through the first 175 games of a career, Larry Bird scored 3,718 points.
Okay.
Wemby, 4,042. Rebounds, Charles Barkley, 1,898. So basically 1,900 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Wemby, 1,912. Blocks, Hakeem Olajuwon, 526. Wemby, 610. Steals, Kobe, 154. Wemby, 201. And three-pointers made, Steph Curry, 367. Wemby, 382.
So he's all right.
For a 7.5-footer, yeah.
Yeah. So are you surprised?
Call him the alien.
Yeah. Are you surprised?
With the rebounds and blocks, no. The steals, a little bit. The threes, absolutely. And not just putting him side by side with Steph, but I think at that height, and if you think about it, it's not just the height, it's the arm length too. Once you release the ball, his arm's almost at 10 feet. So it's impressive. It's extremely impressive.
Well, yeah. I think there was a lot of hype about him coming in, of course, just because he was so tall and so athletic. And I think it's good that he has lived up to it and he's overcome some of his. Well, he had the blood clot last year, right? Wasn't that? Yeah. Glad that didn't derail him. Nice to see somebody actually living up to the hype and maybe even exceeding it. Yeah, I'm surprised. Our last episode, I was asking the question: Are the Thunder going to have a perfect postseason? And I guess we quickly got the answer to that. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the sports roundup, because I think there's some other questions and comments to be made on that we're getting a little long on this front. But so is Wemby the best player in the NBA? You're kind of a Jokic fan, yeah?
That's yes. At this point, yes, I'm a Jokic fan, but it's tough.
Yeah, he's only his third, or is his third year, fourth year?
Wemby, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're being completely honest, as much as this pains me to say, and I hate it, LeBron at the age of 41, doing what he's doing,
yeah,
and it's putting up better numbers this past year than he had 20 years ago. He's not the best in the world right now because he's been playing for 50 years.
Yeah.
Those three right now are probably your top three.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, we'll see what happens. See if the Spurs and Wemby can ride it into that. Well, we'll get to it because the Knicks, hello, New York Knicks, coming up against them in the NBA Finals. But for that, we will call this the end of Section 1 for episode 94 of D4 Sports. Back at you on episode 94 of D4 Sports, and time for D4 business. Getting to the time of the year where there's not a lot of D4 business, but since we were last together, the Premier League season has wrapped up, as well as the Europa Champions League. I don't know if there's got any press over in the U.S. last night, but this was a big deal over here with Arsenal going up against Paris Saint-Germain. And did you read much about this?
So Ansley got home from Paris.
Okay.
And she got Hunter a soccer jersey.
Okay. A PSG jersey?
She shows it to me, and she shows me the front, and I was like, "You got him a PSG? Huh? Nice." And she was like, "Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that wear this, gear."
Well, yeah.
Well, she didn't know what was going on, right?
Oh, yeah.
So she sees all this gear, and she was like, "Yeah." And we were at is it the Eurostar, or I forget what she called it.
That's the train. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So she said they were at the Eurostar, and not very far at all. This red and gold soccer team is walking by her. So
the Gunners,
and then all of a sudden, a ton of people came around where they were at because this soccer team is coming off. And she goes, I didn't know who it was and didn't really.
So she was on the Eurostar with Arsenal.
Correct.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So
I had to show her. I said, here's the ending of the game.
Yeah.
I said, here's your match. It went to penalty, right?
Yeah.
Or not penalty. The
shootout, penalty shootout. Yeah.
And so was it 4-3?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then the fans go nuts.
Yeah.
And so you bring that up, and I just laughed because last night she was like, some red and gold. I mean, she doesn't care about sports, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm
like, this is one of the greatest football teams in the entire world.
Yeah.
you're just like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, so PSG wins it. And I was reading it, Gabriel, who was one of their Arsenal's big players, one of their big defenders, is the guy that missed. Apparently that was the first penalty kick he's ever taken, and had asked to do it. It was the first penalty kick he'd taken for Arsenal anyway. And he gets up there and he puts it over the top bar, and that was bad. You got to put it on the net. I know it's not as easy as it looks, but
I mean, if the goalie stops it, good on him.
Right.
But you have to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to. It's like,
you got to put it on.
Maybe not on as grand of a scale, but it's like in baseball, you're strikeout swinging, man. Don't
strike out looking to end the game.
Don't watch it go straight.
And in this case, it's to end the World Series, right? Yeah. So it's
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like maybe not on as grand a scale, but World Series, you're ending it like.
Yeah.
You don't want to be frozen and just watch the ball go by, and it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but at any rate, Arsenal did win the Premier League, and then almost completed the Euro Champions League as well. But was not successful in that. And as a result, of course, that means that our competition for the Premier League for this year is done. And in the D4 League, in 10th place was Matt Houchin with 1,566 points. I don't believe he set a lineup for the last 27 weeks-ish. So, there you go. Micah Strand.
He set his lineup when he drafted it, and that
maybe.
Was it.
That's possible. Micah got 1,716 and in 9th place. John Woodard at 1,757 in 8th place. Holly ends up in 7th place at 1934. Our man Dustin, D4 Knows Nothing is the name, collapsed
6 weeks
down to 1968 in 6th place. Cigar ends up in 5th place at 1991. I putting up a whopping 25 points in the last week. In fact, I was 10 points worse than you, who were the next lowest, and then the next lowest to that was 40. So I limped to the finish line with 2,030 points in 4th place. Chris Haywai at Olajik's Football Club ends up with 2,108. Some guy, Aiden Ethan Elion Sharuka, Game Changers, 2,157 points, ends in 2nd place. And Sammy takes 1st with 2,273 points, fully 240 points ahead of me in 4th place. So
if there is any way that Sammy actually chimes in every once in a while to this podcast and hears this little stuff,
congratulations, Sammy.
Please somehow get a hold of us. We would love to have you and see how you do it, because
he really
know nothing.
Yeah, he was really, I don't know what he was cheating this year, I think.
It was like weekly.
Every single change he made, you're like, oh, of course, he picks up the guy I've never heard of that scored 15 points. But yeah,
it's pretty crazy. It's probably like a Declan Rice burner account, if I had to guess.
How awesome would that be? How awesome would that
would be? Pretty sweet.
I do have to say, I am glad that Arsenal did not win the Euros, because Stan Kroenke, of course, is the owner of Arsenal, and so screw that guy.
I told Ansley that last night too. I was like, we're just lucky Nick wasn't on that train, because that's his least hated team.
Yeah, that wasn't
most hated team.
But,
sorry.
Yeah. Well, whatever. We get the point. So anyway, so that's so there's that. So and in terms of obviously Millwall's in the off season. There was a couple of big offers made for Femi Aziz, but we fought them off apparently at this point. So far. West Ham
is
West Ham got relegated. Year. Tottenham managed to stave off relegation, which was too bad. I really wish Tottenham would have gotten relegated. That I think everybody in London wishes Tottenham would have gotten relegated, frankly. Except for the Tottenham fans, but they're not showing their heads very much either. But so Tottenham managed to win. So now next year, West Ham and Millwall, baby, twice a year here and there. So we'll see that.
Do they play in a stadium that is empty?
Well, and they're not gonna. It's not. No, they won't. It'll be fine. It is
a rivalry, but surely I wouldn't say civil. But it's not going to get to the level that it once was.
Not in the stadium, probably.
Right.
It's entirely possible.
Like within the game itself. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's ever really been so much the issue on the pitch. I'm sure I don't know enough, but I don't doubt that there's been aggressive moments and maybe some dirty, cheap shots over the years. I mean, that's just going to happen in any actual sports rivalry. But, the big thing that obviously British football wants to stop is the extracurriculars from the fans, right? And the brawls and everything else. That's why they keep all the fans separated and all the hooliganism just, as much as it's kind of fun to joke about, it really does need to go away.
It is a serious thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, generally speaking, riots and brawls are, not great. So,
they made a movie about the Millwall West Ham rivalry. So,
yeah, no, it's no joke. That's for sure. But yeah, we'll see. And apparently there's some other rivalries coming too. That are, that
I think I sent you that clip, right?
Right. That had like 4 or 5 different, like serious rivalries, all going to be in the championship next year. Yep. So that could be interesting.
We're here for it all.
We're here for it all.
We're not in the Premier League.
Yeah, I know.
So besides unfortunately, we're here for it all.
Right. Exactly. So
we didn't cheat to stay in the Champions League.
No. Yeah, a couple of exciting factors here. You know who Jeremy Sochan is? Sochan?
Yeah, he played at Baylor,
Sochan?
and then he was with the Spurs, and now he's with the. Is he with the Knicks?
The Knicks.
Yeah.
In fact, Jeremy Sochan is going to get an NBA championship ring because he played long enough with the Spurs that if the Spurs win, even though he's not on the Spurs currently, he will get a ring. And if the Knicks win, he will get a ring with the Knicks because he's actually currently on the Knicks.
He's on active roster. Yep.
So he is golden. Another, and it's sort of vicariously golden, is Jaromir Jagr. You know why?
He played for the Spurs.
No.
Just kidding.
No. For the 46th straight year, a teammate of Jaromir Jagr will be in the Stanley Cup Finals.
I saw that too. That is crazy. That is insane.
Jagr, who played forever, he still has teammates, the guys he played with in the league. And so 46 years in a row, someone who took the ice with Jaromir Jagr will hoist the Stanley Cup. There you go. That is crazy. That is crazy. And I got one more. This is it's sort of an opening shot sort of thing, but this is in the NFL. So, and have you seen the NFL schedule this year? And
when it first came out, but I didn't pay close enough attention for it to really matter.
Yeah, and we didn't really talk about the schedule release videos and stuff, and those were funny. There was some good stuff happening, and so the schedule was out. But curiously, the league is starting on Wednesday this year, right? The opening game of the year is on Wednesday, and I was reading about number one, why are they playing on Wednesday, and why do they not play on other days? Because anybody who watches the NFL knows they play Thursday nights, they'll play Sundays and Sunday nights, and they play Monday night, right? They don't play Fridays, they don't play Saturdays until late in the season. In December, the last few weeks of the season, you'll start getting a couple of Saturday games and stuff. Well, I was kind of wondering exactly why this is. The Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 is what dictates this. Now, let's just think about that for a minute. We are 55 years ago, a piece of legislation was enacted when professional sports were nothing like they are today. And this still impacts the NFL in particular. And here's what it says. It is against the antitrust laws of the U.S. to, quote, telecast all or a substantial part of any professional football game on any Friday after 6 p.m. or on any Saturday during the period beginning on the second Friday in September and ending on the second Saturday in December in any year from any telecasting station located within 75 miles of the game site of any college or high school football contest scheduled to be played on the same date. They literally restricted the NFL's schedule for high school and college football. The NFL doesn't play on Friday nights because of high school football.
65 years ago. That's crazy.
That is nuts. That this has not been repealed. And I did read something that I think is actually going to change. That in the next couple of years. I'd have to double check that. But I was like, what in the world? I mean, you think of professional sports. I mean, you go back and you hear of stories of the World Series in the 19 when Don Larson pitches a perfect game in 1955 and for the Yankees in the world. Don Larson was selling cars in the offseason, right? Mm-hmm. Because these guys weren't making. I mean, they were making a living, but a lot of the guys who weren't the top guys were working other jobs, and it's just unbelievable to me that this. Somewhere along the line, when in the 90s and 2000s, when you're like, we signed this, I don't know, $100 billion TV contract, that somebody didn't go, how about we go ahead and show an NFL game on a Friday night? People are still going to their high school football games, even if the NFL's on, right? But But apparently that's what it is. They literally can't play on Fridays or Saturdays.
If they started taking Saturdays over, I'd be surprised by that.
Well, I mean, it would be interesting just to see what's actually more popular, college sports right? or NFL, right? Because college football but let's face it, college football plays every day now, right? You get college games Monday night, Tuesday night. You get college games almost
depending on your conference.
Anytime.
Yeah. That's a more conference thing. And the reason for
that, it's not. It's a TV thing. It's a total TV thing. I mean, yeah, the SEC and the big power conferences, they have the huge TV contracts, and so those are going to stay in the prime slots.
But MEAC isn't going to get anything on a Saturday, so they've got to play on a Tuesday just to get.
They don't have to
airtime.
They don't
to get the airtime.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it is conference specific, but it is also about the TV, right? I mean, and it's the fact that you have how many, males of a certain age who will, if there's a college football game on, they will watch it regardless of who's playing,
Right.
But yeah.
And even somebody like me, where even if I don't have a dog in the fight or in the building for that matter, I have sports on.
Sure.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's background noise sometimes too.
Just sure.
Having it on. And so having it on a Tuesday night, I just have it on the TV and I'm doing something else, right?
Sure.
So
yeah. Well, right. I mean, there's that, and then again, there's just people who will just watch whatever. I mean, if it's football, it's on, right? And what is it? They just show the thing. It's like I think every single day from October 1st to the end of November, there is a football game of either college or the NFL every single day from for 2 straight months, kind of thing. But yeah, the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 is still the limiting factor. And that's why we don't get Saturday Night Football in November or October, but we all of a sudden get it in December, because after the second week of December, you can show it again. I think that's wild.
See, I didn't know that. I thought it was just a respect thing.
I did too. I just assumed it was kind of we'll leave Saturday for college. But nope, it is actually an antitrust law in the United States. So there you go. All right. Any other D4 business or anything you think fits appropriately at this time?
Not at this point.
All right. Well, with that, then, we will bring D4 business to a close for episode 94 of D4 Sports. At you, and thankfully we are not garnered by really any laws that I know of. I'm sure there are probably communications laws that restrict what we can do and what we can say, but I don't know what they are. So, unlike the NFL, we are unbound. And I think that's freeing. How about you?
I mean, sure. I don't know what 1961 looked like, so I mean that's pretty close to your time.
Okay, now easy. More than a decade later. Anyway, and my math is wrong. 65 years. Goodness gracious. I can't even do math anymore. Whatever.
You said it, and I was like, I don't think that's right.
That's a couple of, whatever. Way back. This guy, he's making laws. Anyway.
Doctorate is just a piece of paper you put up on the wall. You had
it's history.
Not intelligence related.
History, my friend. History, not math. I'm not a mathematician. Anyway. All right, sports roundup. So let's talk NBA Finals. You seemed to give the New York Knicks short shrift in our off-air comments, and I think you don't seem to think that they have much chance. But let's say New York Knicks, first time since I think Bernard King, right? Was
1999.
Oh, 99. Okay, I remember watching Bernard King as a kid. That brother could shoot. Bernard King was a player. I remember he was
Bernard
one of my.
King was good.
one of the guys I like to watch as a kid. Yeah, okay. So all right, so they were in '99. Who was that? That wasn't John Starks, was it?
No, I think that was like Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell.
Oh, Latrell Sprewell. Love
Who
that guy.
else? I mean, I remember them, and was it?
It wasn't
90...
Ewing, was it? Was that was the no? That
was like '94 against Houston, and Houston
Okay.
beat them when Houston went back to back, and then Jordan came back from baseball to win 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the NBA Finals just ended last night.
You think? You think the Spurs going to take it? Huh?
The Western Conference. I mean, it went 7 games. It was.
Yeah.
That was a good series.
So there was
the Knicks aren't bad.
Yeah. Well, they're in the finals. It can't be too bad. Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns can guard Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I mean,
can anybody
Jalen
though?
Brunson
Really?
And Duet.
Can anybody really guard him though? I mean,
they can get in the way.
Yeah.
I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein did as well as he could.
Yeah.
This past series, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think, you've got De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle against Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. I think Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby could be the X factor for the Knicks. Because I think Wembanyama can guard Karl Anthony Towns.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dylan Harper is going to be an X factor for the Spurs. He's coming off the bench, but he gets a lot of playing time and is playing really well right now. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I am not a Knicks fan, though I think it will obviously would be quite a story since New York sports. I think we did it not too long on one of the last episodes, how few titles New York sports teams have won recently, how long it has been. But I also, again, having had the Patriots in the Super Bowl that everybody wanted to discount, and granted, they didn't play their best game in the Super Bowl, I acknowledge. But I can't just, say, oh, you don't deserve to be there or something like that, because, hey, my team, who nobody expected to be there, got there. Where it wasn't the most glorious fashion, but hey, we made it. And if you don't get to the championship of any league unless you're a good team, right? You may not be the best team ever. I'll give you that. But you got to be doing something right if you can make it all the way through the playoffs. So, So I don't really have a dog in the fight. The only person I really know from the Knicks is OG Anunoby, because he was on my fantasy team last year when I won the league.
Well, and Jeremy Sochan now, so.
Oh, well, yeah, I know Jeremy's, and I don't even know that he plays, but I know the name. I have it written down anyway. So there's that. So, so all right. So we'll keep an eye on that, because that gets started. But I mean, the way they do it now, they play a game every 16 days or something. So it'll probably wrap up end of July or something like that, as long as they drag this out. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Give them 3 or 4 days off to get themselves heated up. The other final is as much as, the Oklahoma City Thunder just rolled through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, so did the Colorado Avalanche, who absolutely steamrolled through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs and then got swept in the Western Conference Finals by the Vegas Golden Knights in the NHL, which I was dumbfounded at. That they not only that they didn't make it, but that to get swept was quite shocking. But another Stan Kroenke team losing, which makes me smile, because he also owns the Avalanche, so that's good. So we have the Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricane. Carolina, again, I really thought it was going to be Carolina and Colorado in the final, but here we are. So that's getting going.
Carolina and Las Vegas.
Yeah, classic hockey powerhouses.
The cold weather cities is all I can picture right now.
Yeah. Well, Montreal Canadiens, they made a good run and made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but lost to the Hurricane. So at least, you did have some. And Colorado, Denver, that's hockey town, right? Ish.
But they're not in the finals. I was saying the 2 finals.
Well, yeah. No, I get it. But I mean, they made it to the conference finals at least. At least it wasn't like, at least it wasn't like Phoenix and Vegas and, Dallas and Miami, or something, that would have, but not that you can't play hockey in those places, but, there you go.
True.
the 2026 French Open is happening.
For some.
Yeah. So first off, since the 2022 French Open, when Nadal won, all Grand Slam tournaments have been won either by Sinner, Alcaraz, or Djokovic. And since the 2024 French, all of them have won by Sinner or Alcaraz. So that is over, right? Because Alcaraz was injured and didn't enter. Sinner went out shockingly in the second round. Djokovic went out shockingly in the third round. And to nobody. Sorry, Fonseca. I don't mean to call you nobody, but you know.
He was 28th.
Oh, yeah, okay. When's the last time a 28th has taken out Novak Djokovic? So here we are. In the fourth round, this is who we have left. J.M. Cerundolo, who I've never heard of. Have you heard him? Okay. Mm-hmm. And this is actually my dark horse pick is Berrettini. I don't know what his first name is, but Berrettini from Italy, who's actually a very good clay court player and a good player. They are both unseeded. And then Francis Tiafoe, right? Tiafoe?
Tiafoe. Yeah.
He's from the U.S. He's 19th, and he's in it. And then somebody named Amaldi, who I've never heard of, or Arnaldi. No, was it Arnaldi? That's okay. Small print here. From Italy, also unseeded. So then you have Algar Aliasme from Canada, who's the fourth seed.
Yep, he won last
against
night in 4.
Armando Tabilo, who we talked about last year, because Tabilo was the guy that upset Djokovic last year. So I like me a little Tabilo too. I don't know if he's any good or not, but I like him. Koboli sounds like a pizza crust. Do you know who Koboli is?
He's playing really well right now. Koboli?
10th seeded, also Italian. And who's this? Zavaja? Zavaja from the U.S.? Zavaja?
I'd have to look that one up.
What is it? I don't even know who this... Zachary Zavaja.
Very U.S.
Spelled
name.
Svajda. I don't even know. I don't know how to pronounce that name, to be frank. So he's in it.
You've got another unseeded right now that...
Wait, are there two Cerandolos? There are two Cerandolos.
Yeah.
Okay, because he beat a Cerundolo last night. He beat the 25th seeded Cerundolo last night. Yep. And then you have Mesnik, who beat Alex de Minaur, who I thought was going to have a shot, who's 26th. Alexei Rublev, who's 11th, used to be a great player, had some really tough injuries, so still got a chance. Casper Ruud at 15th. Fonseca at 28th. 2 Spaniards, Hodar and Carreño Busto, unranked and 27th. And somebody De Jong.
Who De Jong is beaten Zverev right now.
Jesper De Jong, who was playing Alexei Zverev, who's the number 2 seed, right, who should win it at this point, basically.
But he's losing right now.
But it's only the first set, right? So 3 left. But
that's 2-0.
So we've got the 2 seed, the 4 seed, and the 10 seed are the only ones left in the top 10.
Which is absurd.
Unheard of in men's tennis. I can't. I mean, of course, we had the big 4 for so long. And so the likelihood of anybody getting past Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic for the last 20 years has been absurd. But then anybody getting past Alcaraz and Sinner and Djokovic for the last 5 years has been all but absurd. So, but I don't ever remember a tournament this wide open. Why? You have any ideas on why? You think it was the heat? I mean, the heat was really bad in France. That certainly seems to be what derailed Sinner, who has struggled in the heat in the past.
I've seen a couple matches where players have had to take, in between sets, take their, was it 10-minute break and just go inside and get some cooling off in the locker room.
Yeah.
Change outfit just to not be soaked in sweat.
Yeah. I mean,
clay is such a different beast, though, when it comes to the tennis world.
True. But these guys all play on clay at some point, right? And some point, some people aren't good on clay, right? I mean, there's a difference between being competent on clay and being competitive at the highest level. I mean, to win a Grand Slam.
Well, if you're going to be in the top 25, I mean, you've got to know how to play on it.
Right.
I mean, you have tournaments leading up to it that are all clay.
Right.
Madrid. I know there's a few others, but it's
Monte Carlo, Barcelona, Rome.
I mean, it's you got to know how to play, but it's just a different style, like a completely different style of play.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, so I don't know if that plays a part, but
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I surely it's the heat. Surely it's something to do with just you anytime you're looking at the top 10, you're going to have some guys who just are not, some guys who might be clay court specialists like a Casper Ruud, right? And some guys who are just, really not as competitive and their game isn't designed so much for the clay courts. But I was coming in here ready to crown Sinner again, because Sinner actually dominated the clay court season and has completed the so-called Golden Slam. The Golden Masters. He has won every ATP Masters 1000 event. I think only, I want to say with Djokovic and Nadal are the only other two. I don't even think Federer did it. I think there was one clay court tournament he couldn't ever beat Nadal in. So I mean, Sinner is, along with Alcaraz, the two of them are kind of, stretching, tennis records at a very young age. Sinner went down, and after being up 2 sets too, right? I mean, wasn't he up 2 sets to none, and he lost 3 in a row?
He was up 2 sets, and I think
he was like 5-1. I think
in the third.
Yeah,
he was winning in the third.
And then
7-5 in the third, and then just collapsed.
6-1, 6-2. Yeah, I mean, he couldn't do anything. And I don't know if it's cramps or I know at one point he was saying he was getting treatment for being dizzy on the court, which is interesting because again, you're like, I mean, what was it 2 years ago when Alcaraz was playing? Was it Alcaraz and Nadal or Alcaraz and Djokovic in the French Open final where Alcaraz cramped up so bad?
Probably Djokovic.
Yeah, probably was. And it was like he was out there and he played he was playing at a high level, just playing crazy good, and then cramped up to the point where he could barely move, right? And ended up losing. And Djokovic early in his career, was kind of knocked for his fitness. He was a player who he had resigned out of several matches because of, minor injuries or sorts of things. And there was a bit of a knock on him on his toughness. And that's one of the things that he really changed. It's just surprising in the world that we are in sports that somebody would still seem to be so susceptible to the heat in a sport where you play in the heat all the time. I mean, Melbourne, Australia is played in January, middle of summer in Australia. Then you come and, the French Open and Wimbledon weather-wise tend to be a little more moderate, but as you can see, you can get heat waves in France. Good luck getting a heat wave in Wimbledon for 2 weeks, but you never know. Or you're more likely to get rained out. And then you got the U.S. Open on Labor Day weekend, which is just for 2 weeks in August. I mean, who wants to do that in New York, right? So I don't know. It's a curious one to see him kind of wilt in the heat again, as great a player as he started to be. But there you go. All right. Baseball. Anything exciting in the baseball world for you?
It's going on. I mean, I have enjoyed this year. I've enjoyed watching. I mean, the Cardinals are still doing okay.
You still got the entire NL Central, still all of whom are over 500.
Yes.
The Reds are just hanging on it, 29 and 28. But yeah, we're almost 60 games into the season, and you've got an entire division still over 500, which is pretty nuts. I thought it was going to
start to trail off after we talked about it last time. I thought, okay, this is something that you're going to, what is it? Coming back to the mean. I mean, is that like
reversion to the mean? Yeah.
Reversion to the mean. Yeah. That's what I thought was going to happen, where you have 2 or 3 in the division that start to trail off, and it just kind of decelerated for them. But the Reds are still decent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're 29 and 28.
Some young, good young players, and
and
pitching.
Things are starting.
The Brewers pitcher Mizorowski
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. How many innings are we going to get out of him before his arm blows up? I mean, that's the only...
I don't know, but goodness gracious. That guy's got some heat.
He throws hard. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, things are starting to spread out a little bit. You got the Braves are the first team to 40. And then you've got, looks at the Dodgers at 37 wins. The Rays and Yankees at 35. Guardians at 34. Have slowed down a little Brewers bit. At 34. And you've got a couple of teams that have slid. The Rockies, no surprise, 22 and 37. The Giants, 22 and 36. The Mets have just been still continue to still struggle. The Marlins aren't that great. The Angels are the worst team in baseball. Not quite. 23 and 36. They're one game better than the Rockies. The Tigers have also played some really bad baseball, and the Royals. I was going to say that you have the NL Central where everybody's above 500, and the AL Central where only the Guardians. The Guardians of the White Sox, 31 and 27. Figure that one out. But the AL West, the Mariners are 30 and 29, and then everybody else is under 500, so they're kind of balancing things out. So, I don't know. We'll see. Got a few more complete games to talk about. Merrill Kelly throws a complete game, 4-hitter, 100 pitches over the for the Diamondbacks over the Rockies in a 9-1 win on the 15th of May. Bailey Ober, complete game, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 Ks, 89 pitches, which is impressive.
Efficient.
Yeah, over the Marlins, a 3-0 win. Stephen Kolek for the Royals over the Mariners, 9 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, only 2 strikeouts, which is a low number for these days, and 108 pitches. And, of course, the Astros combined for a no-hitter against the Rangers on Memorial Day. So the old combined no-hitter, there you go. First no-hitter of the season.
With an asterisk.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't combined no-hitter. How do you pull a pitcher who's got a no-hitter? Maybe he was their 5th starter. Who knows? But to date, we have 7 complete games. Almost 56 to 60 games into the season, we have 7 complete games. So do with that what you will. Yeah. Oh, one other baseball story. This was nice. In the world of pitching efficiency, Nolan McLean. I forgot to write down which team he's on. I think I want to say the Royals or the Rays. Might be the Mets.
I thought it was the Mets. Nolan McLean.
Yeah, that's probably right. Anyway, in a game he was pitching, in the 4th inning, he had a 4-pitch inning, which is pretty hard to do, especially when you give up 2 hits. In fact, the first pitch was fouled off, or maybe the second pitch was fouled. Anyway, 1 pitch was fouled off. Guy hits a double. Next guy hits a single, but then gets thrown out at third. And then the next one was a ground into a double play to end the inning. 4 pitches, 2 hits, 3 outs. That, my friend, is an efficient stat line.
And that's the only good thing the Mets have done this year.
Pretty much. And one last tidbit from the golfing world. I've often, talked about Bryson DeChambeau, man of the people, and his driving 360-yard par 4s. Well, not to be outdone, Rory McIlroy, man of the people, drove a 397-yard par 4. Drove the green on a 397. And you just kind of have to ask yourself, to the golf world, what are we doing? Something's going to have to change. I don't know if they rein the ball in, if they shrink the clubs down. I don't know what you do, but what do you do when you've got guys who are hitting the ball 400 yards? How do you even have a golf course anymore? I don't even know. But there you go. 397. Anything else?
No, racking my brain. Nothing's coming up. Sorry.
All right. Sports are rounded up for episode 94 of D4 Sports. Bringing it home for last call on episode 94 of Day Drinking with Don and Dustin. And Dustin, do you, I am curious to know what your best last call is for the week. I've been waiting for this.
On pins and needles.
Pins and needles. Bated breath.
So have you seen recently in the college football world what Steve Sarkisian has said?
He's always good for a quote. I don't know. Or a story. I have not.
So the Texas Longhorns head coach has said very, very recently that his second and third string could beat the Big 12 champions. No problem. The SEC is so much better, and I will say the SEC is the best football powerhouse conference there is. But he stated that their second and third stringers could beat the Big 12, hands down.
I don't know.
It's a bold statement.
That's a bold statement.
Considering that our beloved head coach, Joey McGuire, a couple days later gets up to a podium and states, "We have the funds to buy out our first week team next year, and we will buy out your first week's team next year. Let's play the first week at AT&T Stadium. Let's go." I
Interesting.
don't think we would win that game, but I love how he just...
You don't think you could beat the second and third string team from Texas?
I don't think Texas would be willing to play their second, and I think they would play their starters.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, there's no chance that Sarkisian is going to actually put his money where his mouth is. No way.
Right. But I love how McGuire puts the ball in his court, right? Like, that's not going to happen. I don't see it happening at all.
Yep. No.
But it's like, you're making that bold statement, and I'm willing to, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
He just went all in. He just pushed all in.
And now Sark's probably going, I don't necessarily want to play them week one.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he doesn't. Yeah.
So nice. I love the boldness, and let's see what happens. But goodness gracious. I mean, that's when you say something off the cuff that you're just shooting off at the mouth, and then it comes back to bite you.
Let's just say Sarkisian has a history that might earn him a spot on D4 Sports.
Well, yes. He has been noted to partake every once in a while. And probably say some things that don't need to be said.
Indeed.
But I do, like I said, I just love the...
No, you got to love it when a coach is willing to stand up and call the bluff and say, we're not just going to be bullied, and we're not going to let you just, whatever. Yeah. Push us around and treat us like nothing. Yeah.
It's not like the worst team in the Big 12 playing the second and third stringers, right?
Well, and I know Texas had a decent season last year, but I'm not. Yeah.
But they were hurt by the fact that they didn't get in the playoffs, and because Tech was won their conference, they get to be put in, right?
Sure.
And so, I mean, it's a bold statement, but then our coach goes back and makes an even bolder statement saying, we're willing to do this. Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, I think logistically and money wise and all that stuff, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But
no. And to your point, he would never play a second team. No way. He wouldn't do it. No chance.
He might put him out there for like the first play.
Maybe. Maybe the kickoff.
Right.
I don't know. Sticking with Texas football, I thought I'd throw this note in real quickly. The last Cowboys Super Bowl was closer to the moon landing than to today, which is a great stat. But I just love AI. And the reason is because, you start seeing stuff online and you just really don't know if it's true or not. But sometimes these stories, and the ones I really like are also tied to Florida, because you just never know. People in Florida can do almost anything, right? And I've got a Florida man story, which I'm just gonna say, I don't know if it's true or not, but I hope it is. That this is a Florida man was arrested after building an emotional support tiki bar in a Walmart parking lot for stressed shoppers. That he was selling therapy mojitos to patrons, and the child support colada was another of his, and the rollback rum runner was also one. And
he just didn't have the licenses to do it, huh?
No, I'm sure he didn't. But I do like the idea of the emotional support tiki bar in the Walmart parking lot. Sure, and not to be outdone, there again, is this true? Maybe. I believe this one too. A woman was arrested posing as a Costco sample lady because she was handing out shots of tequila in tiny ketchup cups to celebrate the weekend. Which I could totally see somebody doing. Just sneaking up to one of those stands and being like, here you go. Here you go, kids.
I honestly didn't know where you were going to go with those two stories, because you mentioned the moon landing and then AI. So I figured you were
no.
Conspiracy theorist, Nick.
Yeah, well, I do love me a good conspiracy theory. I'm not going to lie about that. Not really.
Not
really. Well, all right. End of May. Coming into the dog days of summer. Any final thoughts for our good listeners?
Hope you like baseball.
Hope you like baseball. Oh, I got one more story with baseball. The Omaha Storm, a minor league baseball team, are becoming the Omaha Runzas for a game. And a Runza, spelled R-U-N-Z-A, is basically a hot pocket. And I looked it up, and it is a regional cuisine of Nebraska, which it seems about right. It's a descendant of the pierogi, which is an Eastern European, basically like a hand pie kind of thing, but they're basically the hot pockets.
All right.
So if you don't like your baseball team, ladies and gentlemen, you can always go watch the Omaha Runzas, get yourself a little hot pocket for the stadium, and enjoy. And with that, we will call it a week for D4 Sports. Thank you to any listeners who've stuck with us this long, and for our loyal listeners who listen every week. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, do all that stuff. And just go easy on the YouTube channel, because we're still getting complaints about, the millions and millions of views crashing the network. But, if you want to watch on video, you can do that as well. So thanks to everybody, and until next time, D4 out. D4 Sports is brought to you by Don and Dustin, and by our sponsors, Sports and Day Drinking. Special thanks go to Trey Klein for providing the music behind D4, and all our friends and family for supporting us throughout this effort.